How's it going to my family on YouTube and my family on Instagram? Welcome to the next episode on Fast and Furious Fridays playlist on Sterling on Cinemas, and that's Cinemas spelled with the letter S. Today I'll be giving you my review on Fast and Furious 4. Not The Fast and the Furious, but Fast and Furious. Before I begin, if you are new to this playlist, or if you've seen this playlist before, you can keep on watching, keep on bringing those numbers up, and share, subscribe, like, and leave a comment, if you will, on the section below. And most importantly, watch it in its entirety. And the same thing goes if you're on Instagram. You know the drill. I don't have to repeat it every time, but you know the drill. You know how it is. But let's get to it. So, Fast and Furious sees Dominic Toretto being forced to come out of hiding when a loved one is brutally murdered. Heading to LA to track down the culprit responsible for the murder, he crosses paths with Brian O'Connor, the FBI agent whose undercover infiltration of Toretto's gang led to the motorized miscreant's exile across the border. The two men temporarily put their differences aside as they investigate the killing of Letitia Ortiz, Letty. Now, according to Justin Lin, which I know most of you who are Fast and Furious fans are familiar with Justin Lin, he directed most of the films of the franchise. He did this one, he did 5, 6, and he's going to do the upcoming 9 and 10 and 11, I believe. So, Fast and Furious, according to him, is the movie that started the modern era of this franchise. Like, this is the Fast and Furious movie that threw everything that you could pretty much expect in the average Fast and Furious franchise that would come out nowadays. The fourth entry in the saga is everything that you can expect in the later movies going forward, like big, death-defying stunts and CGI sequences. But aside from all that, it feels more like the sequel to The Fast and the Furious from 2001, despite taking place chronologically after Too Fast, Too Furious. Now, I expected this one to pull itself into the territory of giant blockbuster action, but I never thought that it would kind of give some of the same vibes as the first Fast and Furious movie. With Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor going through a few parallels here and there, it simply becomes a better reflection of the first one. Basically, it's like, to me, it feels like Fast and Furious 1, but better. But if it added most of the things that you see in the recent ones here. I never knew that this franchise had a non-linear release order like most franchises, because I think watching this made it aware to me that this movie does have a chronological order. But I'm not reviewing this franchise in chronological order like I did the Marvel films, because I never knew it had that. Because, I was thrown off at first because I see Han there with Dom, and he dies in Tokyo Drift, which is prior to the release of this movie. And I know y'all saw that. I can tell y'all saw it. 700 views, over 700 views. But unfortunately, it does take place before Tokyo Drift. But here's how it is. The timeline of the Fast and Furious franchise is, I'm not going to count Hobbs and Shaw. I will count Hobbs and Shaw in this franchise, particularly, like reviewing it, but I don't really know where it falls in the timeline. But anyway, it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, and 8, and 9. Because the post-credit scene in Fast and Furious 6 was the same scene from Tokyo Drift where Han dies, as most of you may know. But even though I got into this franchise around Furious 7, it did feel a little confusing as to why certain characters were there and others were not. But again, I feel that there are some aspects from the first movie that repeat itself here, while also adding some highly favored elements like the big explosions and the international terrorists. The character arcs in this movie can only be understood by those who have watched this series in chronological order, including the prelude and shorts. For Dom, he goes on the run in order to find the person who murdered Letty unexpectedly and to be on the run from the authorities. For Brian, he's doing somewhat the same thing he was assigned to do in the first movie. He goes undercover now as an FBI agent to find somebody who is associated with the person who murdered Letty, which brings him back to Dom. So just like in the first movie, Dom is the good guy pretending to be the bad guy. Well, no, Dom is the bad guy pretending to be the good guy, and Brian is the good guy pretending to be the bad guy. They kind of switch sides and they share each other's world. But Brian's choices are kind of the same Also, even though he is supposed to be an undercover cop at the races, undercover at the street races, he gets caught back into the world of cars and once again becomes reunited with his voluntary family. Dom's new recruits do not get much screen time in this one, with Gal Gadot's Giselle being an exception, but again, the prelude Los Bandoleros explains everything that happened in between Too Fast, Too Furious and Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious is given a 28, currently holds a 28% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Fast and Furious does not feel as good as Tokyo Drift, honestly, but it does help this franchise to become reborn. It establishes new types of elements that would help the Fast saga gain its popularity in the later years, being so popular that it would make almost 10 movies in over a decade, and it would have all these spin-offs on Netflix and then the ride at Universal, etc. So I will give this one 7 SOs out of 10. So that is my review on Fast and Furious. Y'all can let me know what y'all think of this one in particular. Personally, I feel like this isn't one of the more popular entries in this franchise, but you can share your opinion. Feel free to share your opinions on the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.